Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
And a good morning, and these words from Franklin Pierce of days gone by. Let not the foundation of our hope rest upon man's wisdom. It must be felt that there is no national security, but in the nation's humble, acknowledged dependence upon God and his overruling providence. Amen. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning. And a good morning to you and yours out there in Radio Land this morning. Good morning. I'm Zeb Bell with Zeb at the Ranch and our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers, including Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call Get on the Route service, 734-6969. Right now, let's go to the phone line and our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, call back in a few minutes. I know I'm going to have some stories that you want to comment on, so please give me a jingle back. Thank you for doing the pledge.
About the 6 Republicans that should have a D behind their name?
No, that's just one of the many other stories, but I got one I want to have a comment on. So believe me, you'll know. Thank you. All right, let's go right now to the weather forecast brought to you by K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn, and they're open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5:30, Saturday 7 to 6. Oh, they've got all your tools. They've got all the equipment. They've got everything from forklifts to lawnmowers. And they've been in business since 1979. Ho! Experience, knowledge, you better believe it. K&R Rental. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Here's your weather as we saddle up and ride again on this Thursday. And today's going to be another nice day, but we do have a slight chance of some rain showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, again, like we did yesterday. Looking at a high of 84, tonight low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high of 90 with an overnight low of 58. For Saturday, sunny skies, high of 93. Partly cloudy, 91 for Sunday, and as we go back to work on Monday, looks like mostly sunny skies, high of 92. Sunset tonight going to be right around 9:02. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Thank you, Gina. And right now, K&R Rental, Roger and the crew, they're there right now to serve you. And don't forget, they're a Honda engine dealer, too, with all the parts that you might need for your wheel lines. Keep that water running, boys. And don't forget, K&R Rental, 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Number to call, 678-3122. Hey, Merv May, come on in here for a minute, would you please?
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there, here to get all the 31 woman and 31 going out and 32.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, and the number to call for sale information, cattle consignment, 678-9411. Merv May, Cade Rogge, and Lance Udy, the sale that works for you. Today, they're looking for a great big bunch of butcher cows coming in from Oak Valley Dairy, P-Bar S Dairy, and the Bootjack Dairy over at Shoshone. Hello, Shoshone. Along with 20 head of ripping good 750 to 800 pound steers from K&N Farms up at Aberdeen. 11 o'clock sale time, along with a big trailer line run of cattle at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Sale time 11 o'clock. Call them at 678-9411. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $1.31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 130, 550, 135, and I selling $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
I tell you what, he does a great job. Great job. I got to tell you before we get going here. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I made a comment about Bill Belichick, the coach of the New England Patriots, and a T-shirt that he had on, and it was drawing the ire of the liberal left. It was a T-shirt that showed one of our soldiers chasing down one of the either Afghan or Iraq or whatever rebels, and the dog was after the guy and everything. Anyway, and the tagline slogan on the shirt was "Life is Great." Well, I said, man, I got to get a T-shirt like that. I don't know where, I don't know who, but yesterday I received one in the mail, mailed from Iowa. And I know we have a lot of audience all over the country, but somebody really took it upon themselves, and I don't know who to thank, and I wish I could, for this T-shirt. It's interesting to say the least. And I wanted to say thanks. And there's no name, no return address or anything on it, and thank you very much. It just says that it came from Iowa. So out there, if you're listening, thank you very much. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to remind everybody about Ramsey Heating and Electric. We're going to be talking to Rita later on this morning at about 9:30, and they're located at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-0459, and they'll have whatever you're needing to stop, pick up, run in, get back out to the pick-em-up truck right on the counter, 678-0459. All your heating, cooling, and electrical needs at Ramsey Heating and Electric. And don't forget all your filters for your air conditioners to keep it running cool. Stop in. See them today, Ramsey Heating and Electric, where they always provide warm winters and cool summers. Somebody else I want to acknowledge before we get rolling here this morning with your phone calls, which I hope are coming in. Denny's Restaurant at 611 North Overland in Burley, and another location at 291 Pole Line Road in Twin Falls. You know, they have all the burgers. You don't have to go to a fast food place. No, all the great burgers are right there at Denny's Restaurant. I mean it. I've tried them. They're delicious. Along with my favorite food, breakfast. Absolutely, what a great menu lineup. And don't forget, too, online ordering at Denny's. Anytime, anywhere, anything. Go to thedennys.com, hit the demand button, place your order, and 20 minutes later, drive in, pick up your order. Whoa, is that easy? America's Diner. Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. You stop in and see them today. You know, one of, wow. Was that a pop or what? Wheels, are we still on the air? Woo! Did you hear that?
We're still on the air, but I heard that was a big pop.
Yeah, it was kind of like having a 357 go off in my head there for a minute. Wow. I want to say a little bit about what's going on in Washington, D.C. It's even worse than we anticipate. It's not the swamp. It's the sewer, as Donald Trump called it. And the sewer is getting bigger, and it's getting deeper in Washington, D.C. Now, good old Debbie Darling, yeah, they've got one back in Washington, D.C., too. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This woman is absolutely, I think a good word would be sinister. And one of her IT staffers, I believe he is a Pakistani, I think, of national heritage. One of her IT staffers now is being investigated for bank fraud, money fraud, and the guy tried to skip the country. Yeah, he tried to adios. Well, listen to this part of it then. And I'm paraphrasing a lot of this story that I'm sure you probably have followed somewhat. When Debbie Wasserman Schultz met with the D.C. police, she ended up in that meeting threatening the police for their investigating and the arrest of the IT staffer. What? You don't go, threatening the cops, for heaven's sakes. And on the other side of the coin, information is out this morning that just makes your head spin that the new guy, Scaramucci, head of the communications for Donald Trump, it comes out that him and Reince Priebus, head of the RNC, they don't like each other a little bit, not even a little. And I guess they've compared them to brothers like Cain and Abel. Well, with all the leaks going on in Washington, D.C., against the Trump administration, and the Trump administration saying enough is enough, now Scaramucci says maybe it's Reince Priebus, one of the top dogs that's allowing these leaks to go out. What is going on? My grandma Richter, would sit there and she would say, ay, 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 ay. And she's right. That kind of sums it up as to what's going on in Washington, D.C. You can't trust anybody back there. It is a sewer. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Our thanks go out to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. We were going to have Nick on the phone with us a little bit later on this morning, but his schedule changed and he is out of the area. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. And the number to call, the number to remember for making sure you get over there and take care of your aches and pains and your sore muscles and maybe helping after an accident or a surgery, 678-1191. They can and they will help you. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation in Burley, the best people with all the exercises, the hydrotherapy pool. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 678-1191. Nice people. All right, what else have we got going in the news this morning? Oh, my goodness sakes. All right, here we go. Oh, before I do that, I want to say that tomorrow night and Saturday night, the Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame with our induction ceremonies, and I want to give credit where credit is due, and I want to say thank you, and I mean this, to Michelle Matthews at the Times News, did a wonderful front page story on the Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame, and I salute Michelle. She came through and hit a home run. Thank you very much for your story, your cover story of the Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame with activities at the Canyon Crest this Friday night for Give Cancer the Boot, and then the induction ceremonies on Saturday night. Thank you very, very much. Also, later on this morning, we are going to have Amy from the Canyon Crest, Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. Yes, she is going to be on the phone with us. 924 Christian Way in Rupert, and the number to call, 436-3200. They are the only locally owned and operated assisted living facility in the Mini-Cassia area, and they're really able to provide one-on-one care. Now, they make every effort to make Autumn Haven the best place, and you're invited to visit anytime you want to. They're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, 924 Christian Way in Rupert, 436-3200. All right. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Here we go with a story that absolutely has to be commented on because it is a big, big story this morning. Donald Trump, our president, says no to transgenders in the military. Now, right there, I am going to stop and say one word. Good. Every soldier I've talked to since yesterday, I called about half a dozen. Some I wanted to get on a local basis, and I could not. I couldn't reach them. I felt bad about that. But they said they do not want the transgenderism in their fighting units. Way too many added distractions. That was kind of a summation of the conversations that I had with a couple of these folks. And I'm not going to mention any names. Naturally, I wouldn't do that. But this absolutely, I say it's about time. It's good. It was an absolutely stupid move by the Obama administration as part of his inclusion. And the number one thing that was said by everybody I talked to was no. And then the words, added distractions for what they're trying to do to keep themselves alive, get the mission accomplished. You know, why in the world? And folks, I want you to chime in on this. Don't be cowardly and just run away from the subject. It's something we have to talk about. Why is the military from the Obama administration trying to basically cater to less than 1% of military involvement? Less than 1%. Actually, it comes out to about 0.2% of a percent. And we're catering to these people. We're offering them money for surgical changes, if you will. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to. And you and I, the taxpayers, pay. We pay. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
I apologize about that, sir. They're going to have to call back in.
Well, I hope they do. Caller, you were inadvertently cut off. We want your calls, so give us a jingle. Please call us back, and I'll get back to the subject matter and wait for your call. The Democrats came out last night, and I figured they would. Pelosi and Senator Sean Maloney of New York, they played the big outrage card. Oh, we're outraged against Donald Trump and what he did. Oh, we're so outraged. And the main gist of the conversation, especially like with Senator Sean Maloney on Tucker Carlson last night, is that we, those of us that have Christian values and raised with morality and family values, not saying we're perfect at all, but if we don't agree with them, the Democrats and the left, then automatically we're the bigots and the haters. I am so sick of that kind of language. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. I'm totally frustrated with the Republican Party, but I sure as hell don't want to become a Democrat. But what is wrong with them? They had 7 years to get this thing in place, and when they made this appeal to Obama to repeal it.
Whoa, wait a minute, Keith. Wait a minute, Keith. Are you referring, I want to make sure we're all clear in the water here. Are you referring to Obamacare, or are you talking about the transgenders in the military?
Well, I was going to get to that, but anyway, on the transgender deal, I just think that's the stupidest doggone thing in the world. Now, when I was in the military, if a person was gay, they were out of there. The military did not put up with any source of it. They were discharged. They went on with a different kind of life. But what's wrong with that?
Well, nothing. And that's the key point right there. I'm not going to subject anybody to public harassment or anything like that. Absolutely not. You have your life. You have your lifestyle. Fine, live it. But I don't want to put our soldiers, male or female, in the military under more added distractions, using the two words that were said to me, by having this kind of a problem within their ranks. They said that is not good for the uniformity of their crew, and they did not want it. So listen, anything that's going to take away from the main objective of being a prime focused fighting force, I think should absolutely not happen.
Well, how would you like to go out on the front line in a foxhole with a guy who wants to be a woman?
I could not do this.
Now,
I'm being very honest. I could not do this.
But that's not the point. The point is, this person is somebody that you don't even know.
Well, and then the point also is it would be a mental distraction. I am absolutely adamant. Call me what you want. I couldn't care less. But I'm saying I could not do this. And of the people I talked in the military from yesterday to today, they don't want it either.
But, you know, it seems like our president is being fought on everything he does that's going to make America great.
I agree.
And I'll tell you what, I'm still behind him 100%. I still have my Trump sticker on my back window. And anybody that wants to dispute that, we'll take care of it.
All right, Keith, I got another call waiting, but I certainly appreciate your breaking the ice. Thank you, sir. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Caller number 2, you're on the air. What do you think?
I think it's absolutely a wonderful decision, and totally, absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the only right decision. People that are in the military need to know where they stand and what they are. And if they're questioning what they are, they don't need to be there.
Well, you know, Jerry, Representative Duncan Hunter, a member of the House Armed Services Committee, said this, and I want to read this quote to you because it makes a lot of sense. The president's decision was the absolute right decision. It's about time that a decision is made to restore the warrior culture and allow the U.S. military to get back to business. How would you respond to that comment?
I go along with it 100%.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that our military needs to be the best and the most brave and honorable people that they can be.
I agree.
And I'll stand behind them. I absolutely believe our military is a wonderful thing.
Well, Jerry, I appreciate your call as always, and I want to extend to you and your family. Have a great day, my friend, and God bless. Thank you so much.
And may the Lord bless you and all them little children that are listening to you out in your audience.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Jerry. God bless. Thank you.
Call you later.
All right. Hey, caller, hang on just a minute. I'll be right with you, I promise. I don't want to keep you waiting, but I want to remind everybody about the Lincoln County Fair and Rodeo. Oh, my goodness, up in Shoshone, a country county fair. From pioneer days to modern ways. What's on the menu for today, Thursday? Well, by golly, they're going to have their first performance of the IMPRA Rodeo tonight and again tomorrow night. And then on Saturday night, the great big United Truck and Tractor Pull. Are they going to have a ripping good time? And they are having a ripping good time up in Shoshone. The Lincoln County Fair and Rodeo in Shoshone. It is a country county fair. Don't miss it. Get on up there and enjoy. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Zeb. I think President Trump made the right decision, and I really feel the only reason, well, I don't know the only reason, but one of the reasons probably that Obama did that was because he is kind of a wimp himself, but he doesn't want to have a strong military presence anywhere in the world. He weakened our country by going and bowing to all the leaders of foreign countries the first year he was in. And I think that this was just part of his plan to destroy America, to weaken America, because if you can weaken the military, where are we? Because that's our defense.
You know, I totally agree with your statement.
It can cause chaos within the military, which whatever they are. They don't even know what they are. But if it totally is a distraction, because if you know who a transgender is,
yeah,
you think of that when you see them.
You know,
you think of that first,
yeah,
and then you think, okay, I'm not supposed to judge. Be kind. And it's not that we don't love the person. To me, that's a sin. Just like homosexual is a sin.
That's right.
And many other things in this world are sin.
That's exactly right.
We're not here to judge. We love the person. We just don't love the sin.
And you mentioned something earlier.
To me, that distraction in the military, I think, was part of his plan in weakening our military. And I think there were five or six military men that were on one of the networks for interviewing about it, and that network got us a prize because all of them said that it was a distraction, that President Trump made the right decision, and they voiced their opinion on why.
Absolutely.
And I read that article, and I agreed 100% with all of them.
You have stated your position very well and very succinctly, and I thank you for having the courage to call in. God bless you for your call, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
And you do the same. And I pray every day for President Trump that he will make the right choices in replacements. I like Mattis, and he needs all of his people in his camp to be bulldogs. They've all got to have backbone.
I agree with that.
In this country.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. What a nice lady, and said very, very well. Of the people I talked to, and I didn't have time to take a long, drawn-out list. I called about 4 or 5, and like I said, and I got their opinions. None of them said that they wanted the transgenders in their fighting unit or would want them in their fighting unit because it would absolutely be a mental distraction. And I agree with what that lady said. I think it does stem back to the Obama weakening of our military, weakening of our past and our performances and our expectancy of what our military can do. And I do point the finger, just like that lady did, against Obama for what he did in trying to issue these new demands into effect. Now, I absolutely salute Donald Trump for saying no. And during his campaign, Trump emphasized, this isn't something that just fell off the table and hit the floor. During the campaign, Trump emphasized that he would consult with generals to handle the problems of a political correctness infesting the military. He did. He made an edict yesterday, and I think it is a smart move. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? And please give me a call. But what I saw last night, I've got to share this with you, in case you didn't see it. I saw a wild-eyed Democrat in the name of Sean Maloney, senator from New York, absolutely get into a fighting mode, absolutely get into a, I think you're all bigots and haters if you don't go along with having the transgenders in our military. Wait a minute. Why does anyone that was raised in a different time like I was, with family and moral values, going to church on Sunday morning, and the Bible was the Word. That was the Word. Why are we now being forced and coerced by the liberalness in our society, the Democrats, to pick up the Bible and throw it away? Or go against the family and moral values that Mom and Dad taught us, or Grandpa and Grandma? Why now, in this supposed new age, are we the bigots and the haters because we maintain the values that literally made this country great and go all the way back to our forefathers? I'm not going to change. I'm not going to have anybody say, well, you're a bigot and a hater and you're stuck in an old-fashioned rut. Well, then I'm going to say, yeah, I guess maybe I am. Because I'm not going to adopt or adhere to your absolutely filthy principles. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Don't forget Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts, and 3 locations to serve you. They've got all the equipment you need to get the job done right. Oh, my goodness. South Lincoln and Jerome, Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Barry Equipment and Rental. Oh, my. I got to tell you, I talked to Juan on the phone here a week ago or so. They've got all the different Bobcat excavators, new and used, all the shapes and the sizes. And if you've never driven one before and you're not sure how to use it, hey, don't worry about it. Just get on over there, and they've got a big sandbox out behind, and they'll teach you how to run it to get the job done on your property. These are great folks. Equipment rentals, retail equipment sales, Barry Equipment and Rental. South Lincoln and Jerome, and Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, and 159, 159 West Highway 30 in Burley, Barry Equipment and Rental. Come on, callers, don't weaken on me. Give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, the Democrats, along with Pelosi, Nancy railing about this edict from Trump. And like I said, Sean Maloney and Kirsten Gillibrand, also of New York. And she said about Donald Trump, she said, his action is harmful, misguided, and weakens, not strengthens our military. Now, what a stupid statement to make. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Zeb. Supposing you're in combat with some guy, and he's a transgender person, and things are coming apart, and all of a sudden he decides to become a mournful type of a woman.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of an attitude. What are you going to do?
This is
what our soldiers are concerned with.
Yes.
You might have a moody guy right next to you that's got all the traits of a woman and is not going to stand up in combat.
This is what I've been saying all morning. It's the mental added distractions that no combat unit should ever have to face or become aware of. This is absolutely insane. These people live in close quarters. They have to shave and bathe and be in close quarters, and then to have this kind of a distraction. Tony, this is nuts.
Oh, it is. This got started during the Obama administration. Was that just another move to destroy our military?
Yes.
Bring it to its knees?
Yes.
You know, when I heard something like this coming up there, I said, this is just another way by the Democrats to destroy our military.
It is.
And make us level with the rest of the world.
It is, and a lady called in a few moments ago, Tony, I don't know if you heard her or not, but she said it very succinctly about how this is a ploy by Obama to weaken the military, and it's a catering. This is what gets me the worst, Tony. It's a catering to less than 1%. It's actually about 0.2% of 1% in the military, and we're catering to them. Please tell me why.
You know, this is what's weakening our country. Too many of us are sitting back and not saying anything to anybody about it. Oh, it'll never happen here, and I want to watch this movie here, and I don't want to be distracted by anything else. I'm enjoying the good life. They don't realize that our military has always protected the American lifestyle. And without our military, this country would have been taken over by some banana republic many years ago.
I agree. And our military, our men and women fighting in our military, they don't need any other distractions. They've got to have the attitude of, and their mindset on winning and achieving the mission. They don't need these kind of mental distractions.
That's right. You don't want to end up in a foxhole having to protect some transgender because he had a breakdown because of the pressure.
Yeah. Tony, very well said, and I appreciate your call. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
God bless you. You know, there are those in the audience that are probably saying, well, you're judging everybody and you're the judge, jury, and executioner. No, wait a minute. I mean, if you want to let's back that one up. If you want to live your life a certain way, you go ahead and live your life a certain way. Just don't impose what you want for your life to be imposed upon me or making and basically lessen the way I feel. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. But when you become a distraction and you as a group start making demands that we want this, we want that, that's when I'm going to put my foot down and say no. Because majority rules in this country, supposedly. And when we're talking about less than 1%, it's almost laughable. About 0.2% of 1%. And we have to kowtow and change things and pay more as taxpayers if they want, this is ridiculous, sex change operations and be paid for by the American taxpayer. There's a simple two-word answer. No. No. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And I thought the way Trump announced this, after consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with all the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgenders in the military would entail. Thank you. Well stated. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. By the way, my wife yesterday, we had some problems with a printer for our computer and everything, and I normally don't mention people on the air that are not current advertisers or sponsors, but in this case I'm going to make an exception. We had to run into Office Max in Twin Falls, and they bent over backwards to help serve and get our printer back in shape and everything, to the point of now we've got a brand new one, and every circumstance is working very well. Thank you to Office Max in Twin. That's not a commercial. It is a thank you for what they did to help us out yesterday. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bell. You know, as far as Trump making the right decision, he definitely did. You know, there's probably been gays in the military for ever and a day. But whatever happened to just being who you are and who God created you to be? You know, God doesn't make mistakes. He made us all unique in our own way, because that's the way he wanted it.
Yep.
Why do we have to go through all this BS about gays and lesbians?
You know, Donna, what you said goes right along with what was on television last night with I believe the young man had served in the Army, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember his name, and I'm thinking of it, but he said, wait a minute, all this talk about transgenderism and all that, it's all baloney because there are only two genders, male and female. Let's deal with what is the truth, let's deal with what is fact, and let's go on from there. Enough of all this transgenderism and everything else. And he also said it's nothing more than a mental distraction.
I totally agree with him. You know, like you said, you're either born a male or a female, and that's the way God created us. I have no desire to change, you know, my sexuality or my way of being. God created us all to be individuals, and to these transgenders and like that Caitlyn Jenner, she's going to run for Senate. Oh my God!
Yeah, well, first of all, let's call it like it is. On my program, I will not refer to that person by their transgender name. It is Bruce Jenner, and I will not change.
Oh no, I don't. I disagree with you. I mean, I agree with you. Like I said, he's just a freak of nature. What is he trying to prove?
Well, the whole thing is, Donna.
What are any of them trying to prove? I'm a firm believer in people, choose the way they live, and that's okay. But don't put it in the public.
Yeah.
Leave it be. Be who you are. Be who God created you to be, and let's get back to the basics.
Well, one other point, Donna, and don't demand that the public accept your lifestyle and have to adhere to it.
Oh, that's true. I don't expect anybody to approve or disapprove of the way I live. I am who I am. God created me to be this way. I probably could be a little bit better, but I strive every day to do better than I did the day before.
There you go.
But I was born a woman. I was created a woman, and I am proud of the fact that I'm a woman. I don't want to be treated like a man. I don't want to be a man.
Oh, you mean you don't want to be? You mean you don't want to be a giraffe on Fridays, and you don't want to be perhaps a rabbit on Mondays? I mean, this is so silly what they're looking at, and we're supposed to respect that attitude as it's being imposed on us? No.
Oh, I know. They expect us, and they want the same rights as everybody else. Well, if you want the same rights as everybody else, you better return to how God created you to be in the first place.
There you go. Thank you, Donna. God bless you. I got to run.
Okay.
All right.
Have a great day, my friend.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Oh, I'm telling you, Dr. Christine Pickup and her whole staff, they are wonderful, wonderful people, and she has so many communication skills and classes, and she knows all about hearing. She knows all about sound. I honestly have never met anybody that knows so much about sound and hearing and sound equipment and everything. She is absolutely amazing. So please make an appointment for a hearing screening today at Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and they're right across from the Minidoka Hospital Emergency Room, the number 312-0957. Caller, hang on a minute. I got to get the weather on. I'll be right with you. Wheels, play the weather, please.
Here's your weather as we saddle up and ride again on this Thursday, and today's going to be another nice day, but we do have a slight chance of some rain showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, again, like we did yesterday. Looking at a high of 84, tonight low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high of 90 with an overnight low of 58. For Saturday, sunny skies, high of 93. Partly cloudy, 91 for Sunday, and as we go back to work on Monday, looks like mostly sunny skies, high of 92. Sunset tonight going to be right around 9:02. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Gina, thank you very much, and brought to everybody by the only locally owned and independent hearing healthcare practice in southern Idaho, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Call for an appointment today, 312-0957. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. Well, this whole deal is that they've been putting it in our face. If the 1 or 2% out there that can't figure out who they are, I guess if they can't check out the plumbing they have, that's the way they were born. That's what should be declared. And I think there's a lot of this emasculation of our male population. It's been going on for quite a while. Of course, this is all about destroying the culture of this country. And, of course, when you're in a military situation, bringing the women to have them in a foxhole was a bad decision to start with. And but this is just another situation where, if they want to lead that kind of lifestyle, just keep it to themselves. And whatever they do in their home, in their bedroom with their friends, that's one thing. But to push it out in public, this has become, basically break down our whole family and our biblical society.
I agree.
My dad always said, I can't quote the scripture. He said, "Man who sleeps with man shall die." It's right in the Holy Bible.
Yeah.
And so I'm sorry for those people out there that can't figure out who they are, but I think they really are doing a disservice to themselves and certainly our country by pushing this agenda out there when the 98% out there don't approve of what they're doing. and especially in public.
I agree with you, Adrian. Very well stated. Thank you. I got to get another break in, but thank you. That was very well put together. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
He is 100% right on that last statement. I'll tell you what, like I said, I'm not telling everybody to live my lifestyle or like I live, etc. No, lead your own life. But don't have your minority numbers try to transition everything around us in our society geared for the acceptance of a lifestyle that is not acceptable for moral and family values. I'm not going to be called a bigot and a hater because I'm going to stay the way I believe. And I think the Democrats are really putting their foot in their mouth by being outraged. We're talking about in our military, as I said earlier, less than 1%, actually 0.2 of 1%. And we're catering to that? No, absolutely not. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Transgenders have had it their way for all the Obama years. Maybe demanding that the military pay for their sex changes was the straw that broke the camel's back and solidified President Trump's announcement.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more, and when I started hearing about the demand for financial responsibility of their sex changes in the military to fall back on the American taxpayer, I got to admit, I threw a lot of things up against the wall.
Oh, yeah. It's just evil.
Well,
and so why would an insurance company even think about paying for that?
Well, it's the insurance company.
Military.
The insurance company, Lorna, is basically, we're the insurance company, the American public. And I, for one, as a taxpayer, say, enough of this foolish garbage.
For sure.
Hey, by the way, my lovely wife wants to thank you for the zucchini. I'm just passing a personal zucchini message.
I have some more. Does she need some more?
Don't give us any more. It's coming out of our ears. I don't know. I'll have you talk to her later. But, Lorna, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, take care. Thank you. Oh, my. Zucchini. Deanne loves zucchini, and she makes the best zucchini bread. Hey, don't forget our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. Get where you're going this summer. Yes, safely. They've got all the tires, all the tread designs, all the different sizes for all the different vehicles. Man, I'm telling you what, they want you to drive safely. And the best in brake service. I mean that. That's not brag. That's a fact. And, of course, front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, all of this and more, again, to get you where you're going this summer. And back home again. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Nobody better. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. You stop in and see those good folks today. I got time for another call or two, so give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And, by the way, good news. Some good news this morning. Representative Steve Scalise, the representative that was shot severely practicing for that congressional baseball game, is out of the hospital. God bless him and his family, and he's headed home, and I certainly mean this. Prayers that that man will be A-OK. I certainly hope so. And let's see what else. Oh, to end on a really kind of a sarcastic note against the idiocy of the Rolling Stone magazine, they've got a cover coming out in a couple of months where they've shot a picture of Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau with the question right underneath his picture that says, "Why can't he be our president?" Meaning here in the United States. Well, first of all, you idiots from the Rolling Stone magazine, he's not a citizen. That's one good reason. And the asking of why can't he be our president, the most liberal and the most nonsensical leader up in Canada, giving over $8 million to a convicted Muslim terrorist? No, I'm glad he's not our president. We're going to take a little break for a little bit and come back at 9:06 with the Chamber Report with Kyla and a whole bunch of other stuff. So stay tuned. Zeb at the Ranch on a Thursday. And let's see, what else have I got to remind you of real quick? I guess that's it. You have a wonderful day, and if you're planning on going something this week, mine went blank, Deanne. If you're going someplace, please be careful out there and enjoy a great summer weekend. Wheels, take it away, buddy. I'll be back in about 7 minutes. Well, Gina does everything over there. I mean, holy smokes, I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for her. Hey, good morning, everybody. Zeb at the Ranch. I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and along with some of our great advertisers like Western Waste Services.
From the canyons of the Snake River and all across southern Idaho, we're always at your disposal. Western Waste Services, we care about our community, our resources, and this great land. Western Waste Services is lending a hand, always at your disposal.
Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. You need a dumpster. I know Deanne says, yeah, I need about one, the biggest one I can get out my back window here, and take the screens and the windows out and just start pitching and throwing. Can't do that. I got to have all that stuff. But, you know, if you really need to clean up and get rid of a bunch of stuff, get a dumpster. They've got them in various sizes. They'll deliver the dumpster to your property. You fill it up, they'll come and get it. Western Waste Services, always at your disposal. Call them at 734-6969, Western Waste Services. By the way, I also want to remind you about our friends over at Ark Animal Hospital. Oh, my goodness sakes, wonderful people, Dr. Bill and the whole crew, and they urge you to take care of your animals. Oh, boy, this is flea and tick season, and you better make sure that if your dog has the ticks, he might give them to you. So be careful out there. They're a mixed animal practice, meaning big or small. They do love them all. Ark Animal Hospital at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Heyburn. Number to call, number to remember, 678-1177. Yep, they do have warm hearts for cold noses. Ark Animal Hospital. Well, lo and behold, or behold and lo, here comes Kyla from the Chamber of Commerce.
Hi, good morning, Zeb. How are you this morning?
You know, the minute I said your name, I got a little scared because who knows who looms out there on the other end of the line.
What's that?
I said,
Weird.
I said, who knows who looms out there on the other end of the line? Many times I've said your name and then you're not there, somebody else is.
I know. We've had Chris Fox filling in for me, and I sure appreciate her doing that. We've been super busy, just getting ready for fall, and then this is our busy time of year here at the Visitor Center. So we just want to thank everyone for your patience. It's been great. We've sold out already once on our Eclipse glasses, and we have a whole new shipment in, and folks have been coming in, getting ready for the big eclipse happening August 21st. So if you need Eclipse glasses so that you can safely view the eclipse, then I suggest you come on down. We've got them for $2 each. And then just a ton of other stuff is happening in the community, Zeb. Of course, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat playing out at Oakley Valley Arts Center at Howell Theater. Amazing show. I went and saw it on Tuesday. Highly recommend it. And they have added some shows because they've sold out on a lot of the shows. So be sure to call and get tickets. And then the Magic Valley Folk Festival begins Friday and Saturday here. They've had some events going on this week. But if you need tickets, we have those on sale as well, $10 for adults, $5 for kids. And that's just going to be a fabulous performance. I think they have 6 different countries that are going to be performing there at the King Fine Arts Center both Friday and Saturday night. And then, of course, Saturday, Spudman Triathlon gets underway over in the Burley area on the Snake River. They're going to swim, they're going to bike, and then they're going to run. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And the first flight get underway around that 6 o'clock hour. So just a heads up to everybody who's traveling in that Burley-Declo area that there will be lots of people doing lots of stuff, so watch out. And then lastly, I want to throw this out there. This is kind of fun, and I'm really thinking of going to this one just because, you know, it's intimidating sometimes dealing with lawnmower equipment for myself. And Ace Hardware is having their big ladies' night on Saturday, both at Burley and Rupert from 7 to 9 p.m., where the focus is how to maintain your lawnmower and the lawn and garden equipment. And if you bring your lawnmower in, they're going to help you sharpen the blades and do all that kind of fun stuff. And, you know, I just think that's a great service. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Now, I want to go back to what you said a minute ago about the Spudman Triathlon. How far do they swim? How far do they run? How far do they bike?
Oh, gosh, I wish I knew that exactly. I know the swim, it's not, you know, you see these big triathlons, and I think that's what makes this one so popular, is the course is really open for those who are here to compete and, you know, get a title, and also for a lot of folks that are like, I just want to try this for the first time in my life. And that's what makes this course so popular. So they put in for the swim at the Burley Boat Docks. They swim with the current, which is really nice, just down to Scholar Park, which is, you know what, about 300 yards, so it's not that far.
Okay.
And then they go from there, they get on the bike, and the bikes go all the way out through towards the Declo Highway, and then they go south on 650, and then they go west on 600, and then they come back up and come back into the Scholar Park area. And then from Scholar Park, they have a nice run. I don't know exactly how far it is, but it goes south through the Burley area. A good chunk of it is on gravel, which makes it kind of exciting. And then they come back around, and then they finish back here over at the Burley Boat Docks and the golf course.
Well,
there's going to be games. There's going to be fun stuff, food. So a lot of people that want to come watch their loved ones or just see this stuff, you should come on out because it'll be a great time.
Kyla, at one time, didn't they, the swimmers and the triathlon athletes, didn't they swim all the way around that island right there by the boat dock?
Oh, my gosh, I am the wrong person to be asking that because I've only been back here for a year, Zeb. But you know what? That would be a great question for one of the guys over there that run the Spudman. I honestly don't know. If a caller knows, they're welcome to call in because that would be great.
Wow.
I apologize that I don't know that. But can you imagine going against the current, especially with this high of water? I don't think that'd be so fun. So I'm really glad, you know, you get in, you can almost float the thing. I think I could handle that. That floating down.
There's so much going on, and I really appreciate you touching on all these different things. And one other item, actually it's a series of items, we are now in the midst of county fair season. So holy smokes, don't anybody tell me there's nothing to go see or do.
That's right. We got the Minidoka County Fair firing up its events starting with Monday's lawnmower races, which are a huge hit. There is something every night next week for the Minidoka County Fair, and it's just going to be a hoot. I just can't wait. And then, of course, I don't know. I'll wait till next weekend. We'll get to that on Thursday of next week because there's just so much. But I really recommend get on minicajachamber.com and check out our event calendar. Just click on that tab. And then if you hover over each of the events, it will bring up even more information, the contact phone numbers, their websites, anything you want, you can easily find it.
Wow, you do a great job over there. And what about the hours that you're open over at the Chamber of Commerce?
We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and then on Saturday, it is by our volunteers, and we do have a summer intern. So usually that's open from about 10 to 2. But again, if you're looking for the eclipse glasses, I don't know, are you ready for the eclipse, Deb? I'll have to get you some glasses.
You know, now,
August 21st.
I hope you do, because I'll be honest with you, I am very wary of looking at or even perceiving to look at the sun. I have known some people in the past that have watched the eclipse, and they did get severe eye damage.
Yeah, so you really want to be prepared. And, you know, the eclipse glasses are certified. They're great. They look like 3D glasses. That's the best way I can describe them. You can also buy really, really expensive ones that look like sunglasses. But we're really encouraging everyone just to be prepared. Another thing that we've been encouraging is just businesses. We're expecting a lot of traffic. We are in the zone for people traveling to want to see the best eclipse possible, provided the weather holds. So we're telling everyone, really just be prepared for extra traffic. Hotel rooms are sold out, is what I am told, for that day and around that day. So it's going to be a lot of stuff going on and a lot of people traveling to want to see this.
Did I hear, and I'm running a little bit late here, but I want to have you answer this question. I heard, and I could be way off on the truthfulness of this statement made from somebody to me, but they anticipated, because Idaho is one of the best places to watch the eclipse, they said that we could be seeing an influx of close to 2 million people. Is that correct?
You know, I have not heard the 2 million people thing, but we are expecting thousands.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can tell that certainly because hotel rooms, Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, Pocatello, here in our neck of the woods, you know, we've had some crazy stories that are absolutely true, where folks up in Arco and Chalice, farmers are, you know, or people that have pasture land are literally selling a plot where you could put either your RV trailer or your cares, and they're selling those for like around $500. And by selling, I mean renting. In terms of, you know, come on over. I know, I need to get some ground and just start doing it.
Holy cow.
People want to see it. So it's, I mean, some people are making some money out there. So what we're encouraging everyone is stock up beforehand, have your water. They're certainly telling folks, you know, to just plan that the travel, it's a 3-hour event or a 2-hour event. It's going to last about 20 minutes when in actuality, but just really plan ahead. Make sure your car is full of gas. Make sure you have water and food. And just make sure when you're traveling, expect that there's going to be delays.
Wow. All this for an eclipse of the sun. I guess I'm kind of old-fashioned because, Kyla, I'm not trying to minimize anything, but to me, I'm sorry, it's not that big a deal.
Well, you know, I think it's fun. There's people from all around the world that are coming to the United States. That's why it's called the big, you know, Eclipse USA, because this is going to be the best place.
Yeah.
And we're pretty lucky. I mean, we live here, so we're just going to walk out our back doors and go take a look at this thing. But we just really want everyone to be prepared that, yes, people are coming. You know, we've had people calling from California, from all over the place, other countries, just trying to find hotel rooms. And honestly, we're trying to send them wherever we can. But it's going to be kind of fun, I think, to see. And I remember, I don't want to age myself, but I might a little bit. I remember the last eclipse. I remember we built the box in school, and you looked backwards at the sun, and it reflected in. But I'm kind of excited to have my eclipse glasses just because it'll be a lot easier to try and see this.
Well, hold 2 pair of those glasses, one for Goober and me, and we'll be over to pick them up, and I appreciate it.
You bet, Zeb. You have a wonderful day. Always good to talk with you.
Hey, before you leave, what's the telephone number for people to call the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce?
679-4793.
Kyla, thank you so much. God bless, and we'll see you next Thursday. Thank you.
Thanks, Deb. You have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you very much, the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Hey, by the way, I want to acknowledge the fact that, you know, I've never seen this man without a smile on his face. I never have. He is one of the friendliest, one of the nicest people I've ever known in this area, and I'm talking about Joel Heward, manager of Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. He is so community-oriented, and he's so helpful, and he's always, like I said, has that smile on his face, which just tells you he's just a really nice person. Along with his family and his staff serving you at Hanson Mortuary, always with the highest ethical standards, with unquestioned integrity. Please remember, when there's the passing of a loved one, oh my goodness, everything is just juggled up in the air. You don't know what you're going to have to do in a short period of time. Sit back, take a deep breath, and call their number, 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. Oh, my goodness sakes, calls are welcome. We've got an opening here for this morning, and we'd love to have you on the program, so give us a call. As Kyla mentioned a moment ago, Next week, of course, the Minidoka County Fair and Rodeo. Ooh, baby, are they ever going to have a good time? Now, I want to mention this up front, that they're going to have an open rodeo on August 4th and 5th. And for all the entrants, they're taking entries again. Tonight is the last night. And Kathy Lom, the great, great rodeo secretary, Kathy Lom. Nobody knows more about rodeo secretarying than Kathy Lom. The number to call, 654-2462. That number again tonight between 6 and 10 is 654-2462 to enter the Minidoka Open Rodeo on the August 4th and 5th. They're going to have a lot of fun starting out next Monday on the 31st with the lawnmower races, and then they're going to have on Tuesday, August 1st, the Tiny Tot Gymkhana, and then on Wednesday, the Antique Engine Show, and then at 5:30, the Lions Barbecue. Ooh, that Lions Club, they put out a plate of food. And then following that, free ice cream and a Dutch oven cobbler. Whoa, baby. Thursday, they're going to have the Junior Rodeo. Friday and Saturday, the Open Rodeo, and along with the Grandma Queen Contest. I'm telling you, they got so doggone much going on over there. And, of course, it's the Minidoka County Fair and Rodeo, July 31st through the 5th of August, where they have the theme Country Pride countywide. Absolutely. Wow, what a lot of fun. By the way, if I may take just a minute, I thanked her earlier this morning, and I want to thank her again, Michelle Matthews, with the Times News, did a wonderful, wonderful piece on an event that's going to be tomorrow night and Saturday night at the Canyon Crest Event Center, the Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame for this year. Now, on Friday night, tomorrow night, we're going to have Tough Enough to Wear Pink event, Give Cancer the Boot. And we're going to start that at 5 p.m. tomorrow night, go till 8. And our thanks go to Tech Distributing, our Coors dealer, $10 entry fee. Oh, my goodness, we're going to have door prizes like you can't believe, and specialty fun games. And a percentage of all the proceeds goes to breast cancer awareness with the St. Luke's Foundation. Then on Saturday night, the big Hall of Fame induction, and we're going to have an absolutely great induction ceremony. 5 p.m. social hour, dinner at 6, inductions follow. And our thanks go out for all of this in its entirety to D.L. Evans Banks, Josh Rose, Jim Evans, everybody. I just want to say thank you to D.L. Evans Banks. They have stepped up to the plate and helped us put this on. Thank you very much. Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame, July 28th and 29th, this Friday and Saturday at the Canyon Crest Event Center in Twin. And for tickets, please call Katie. What a wonderful gal she is over there at Canyon Crest. 733-9392. That number again, 733-9392. Okay. Also, I want to remind you about Let's Ride. Oh, my goodness sakes. These are good folks. Wow, I've been over there so many times, and when you walk up to the front door and just open the showroom door, oh, wow. How did they cram all of that machinery inside that showroom floor? All the 4x4s and the watercrafts and the side-by-sides. Man. They really did a job, and you can have fun. This is where the fun is sold. They've got all the watercraft, all the 4x4s, and, of course, like I said, the side-by-sides. They've got all the accessories, and listen up here, to keep you running, they've got a really super service department. So there they are at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. Let's Ride. Yep, where the fun is sold. Really good, folks. Want to mention, too, if you're over in that area, you want to be sure and get a hold of our friends at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Number to call for an appointment. Now, this is where you have to pick up the ball and dribble it. This is your job. You have to call, make an appointment, and from that point, they take care of everything. Yep, they'll find out about and help you with your life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, all of this and more. They really, really care. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert, and the number to call, 430 436-4424. You be sure and get a hold of them today. Really, really nice folks. How about a call? 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. If you want to read one of the, I don't know if this is a word or not, but I'm just going to throw it out there, ditziest, I like that, ditziest letters you have ever read in your life, read the letter to the editor in the Times News this morning from a person by the name of Leah Nemiroff of Ketchum. I'm saving this letter and putting it in a file called Ditzy. Wow, I couldn't believe some of these things in this letter. She says, to start off her letter, conventional agriculture is hurting the local economy. What? It's what holds the economy together, Leah. Somebody please tap her on the helmet and welcome her to the real world. Tell her to get out of the spaceship. And then she goes on in this letter and she says, growing vegetation. Now listen to this one because she's so concerned about fires. And she says, growing vegetation, I'm assuming like right next to her home, prevents mass wasting like avalanches and rockfall. I got to think about that one for a while. And she's so concerned about fires, and then she says she wants to do this. And then she says she's going on and kind of bouncing off the wall here. Buying local will stabilize natural cycles like photosynthesis and therefore keep you safe from climate disasters, fires, and avalanches. Woo! Doot, 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 doot. That's a letter in the paper this morning from Leah Nemiroff up in Ketchum. The queen of the ditzies. All right, let's see what else we I can't help it, man. It's crazy. Oh, my. Let's not also forget another fair that's going on. Why, we've got all the information on all the fairs. Let's not forget about the Lincoln County Fair and Rodeo. Yep, Country County Fair, Lincoln County. And what's going on up there tonight? They start the first performance of their Intermountain Professional Rodeo, 8 p.m. And then tomorrow night, the same thing. And they're going to have all kinds of beef shows and swine shows. And on Saturday, don't forget, they're going to have that big United Truck and Tractor Pull. Woo, I heard last year that was really something to see. All of this up in Shoshone at the Lincoln County Fair and Rodeo, from pioneer days to modern ways. Don't you miss it. One of the original country county fairs, Lincoln County Fair and Rodeo in Shoshone. Get up there and enjoy. Okay, let's see what else have I got cooking here. I thanked everybody this morning. Oh, once again, about the Hall of Fame, I reiterate that I need you to call Katie at the Canyon Crest Event Center. Don't call me for tickets. Please call her. They have all the tickets on a will call basis if you want to attend, and they'll just have them ready for you when you show up. Both events on Friday and Saturday night start at 5 p.m., so do not miss it. And the question was about who are some of the inductees. Well, one of course, the main ones, 11-time world champion, 3-time all-around, 8-time world champion tie-down, Dean Oliver. It's really going to be great to see Dean again and have him at this induction along with all of our other inductees. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and I believe we have a very, very pretty, very, very nice lady on the other end of the line, and we always look forward to having her on our program on Thursdays. Rita Ramsey, good morning. Maybe she's not there.
Go ahead, sir.
Oh, Wheels, you saved the day like Superman jumping out of a window. And good morning once again, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, thank you.
I got scared, Rita. I thought maybe you weren't there.
I should just do silent one time. Everybody could see how nice it is for Rita Ramsey not to be mad at us.
Use hand signals. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, okay. I've got at least 10 different subjects that we can talk about this morning, but I'm going to start off with a subject that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but I do on this program. I give kudos to Donald Trump for saying no to the transgenders in the military. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I do, and the main reason that I do is because Obama put it into effect just barely a year ago so that it would go into effect and be a big load for us to try to take care of after he's gone. And so I think that it was the right thing to do. The other thing is it doesn't mean that some of those folks aren't productive, good military people. And if they're in the military prior to June of 2016, they were probably doing a fine job with their what they had, and it was kind of like don't ask, don't tell. So they didn't do it. But the thing that's happening is there's so many of them that are involved with lots and lots of health issues, and that's probably why they want to be in the military, is so that the U.S. taxpayer can pay all the bills for any of their military or any of their medical stuff. And when they start changing their bodies around and doing all kinds of operations and stuff, just let me tell you, anybody who's had any kinds of surgeries knows that usually that's not a one-time thing and you're all done with it.
Yeah.
Things start happening as you age and various different things, and they're going to have big issues, and we're paying for it.
You know, I talked to some members of the military, and every one of them that I talked to said basically the same thing. This is absolutely ridiculous because it creates an added distraction to their fighting force and their fighting unit, and they were very glad that Trump did this.
Well, I just don't understand how people can be so stupid as to think that the military people shouldn't be concentrating on one thing, and that's doing their job, and this other stuff that's a distraction is just weakening our resolve to do what we need to do. And what if we get in war situations that are really, really critical? I mean, right now it's not a big deal because we're not in full force war, but you know, we could be, and where do you draw the line?
Yeah. And here's the thing also that bothers me, Rita, and you're really a realist on this program, and I love the way you throw your opinions out there. When we as a society and as a majority are told to cater to less than 1%, actually 0.2% of 1%, something's wrong with this picture.
Well, it is, and it's just the people who are just going to make a big noise, the very, very smallest minority of them, and they're the ones that are going to get the attention. You know, I guess you and I, just plain old regular people, are tired of being invisible, but these guys are such a minority that of people that why are they getting all this stuff? I noticed that, and one of the articles that I read said that Secretary Ash Carter last year, when he issued that order, it allowed all transgender troops to serve openly and undergo gender reassignment surgery.
Right.
In other words, join up and we'll do the surgery and change you over and pay for all of it. And I mean, it's just like, come on, we just want regular people who are interested in doing their job. We're not interested in those of you who want to change and let somebody pay for all of your medical expenses.
And the outrage, and I underline that word because that was the word they used every time they did an interview, with whether it was Nancy Pelosi or whether it was Senator Sean Maloney from New York. Outrage! Why, we're outraged about this. Well, you know what? The key was said last night on Tucker Carlson's show with Sean Maloney when he came out and said that us, the rest of us, that will not adhere to the acceptance of the transgenders, we are the bigots and the haters. Rita, I was born and raised in a Christian home. I'm very proud of what my mom and dad did and taught me as a young man. I am not about to adopt or accept principles that go completely against my religious and my moral values.
Well, I feel a lot the same way. However, I might add, I'm okay if that's what they want to be. If they figure that's what they are, fine. But don't ask me to open my pocketbook and pay for all of your medical stuff.
Right. Absolutely right. And you made a very good point earlier, and I think I'd like to elaborate on it a little bit. It's not just one surgery, it's a multiplicity of surgeries. This is so absolutely mind-blowing. I hate to even get into this part of it, but I mean, the transition and everything and the personality changes, I don't even want to have that be a part of our lifestyle.
Well, we just shouldn't have to deal with that. It's just like, okay, so we're supposed to give gay people, rights and everything else. Yeah, that's right. We are. We're supposed to give them equal rights.
Yep.
Thing of it is, they don't want equal rights. They want special
There
rights.
you go. There you go.
And that's the part that I'm opposed to, is if they want to be just like the rest of us, and yes, you should have equal rights in everything that you do. We just don't want you to have special rights.
There you go. Okay, now we're going to shift to another story. Oh, gee, golly. Everybody, I think, knows who that sweet little charmer in Florida is by the name of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Oh, contraire. She is a little bit nasty with her personality now that one of her IT staffers has been found out to be a bank fraud individual and tried to skip the country. My dear, what's going on here?
Well, actually, you called her something I haven't heard for a while. I've heard it called as Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz. She has been absolutely nothing but a big blabbermouth through all of the Obama years, prior and since. And now she doesn't want to step up to the plate and talk about anything because she knows she has some trouble on her hands. And this fellow that she had working for her, you can't tell me that he could work for her and it'd just be totally off the radar. I mean, there had to be some stuff that it was kind of like, oh, well, can you find out this? Or how about doing that? Or be sure and do it undercover. Or be sure and, you and I didn't have this conversation, and a bunch of stuff like that. I really think that Debbie Wasserman Schultz is involved in it a little bit, if not a bunch. But I'll tell you something, they need to put handcuffs on him and handcuff him to the jail walls so he can't slide out of there anywhere, because he'll be back to Pakistan in blink of an eye, and it'll be all off of the radar, and we won't have to worry about it again. And that was their intent when he started to leave the country.
Yeah, but golly sakes, Wheels over at the station, watch the feedback, buddy. Here's poor little Debbie, darling Rita, and she made a threat to the Washington, D.C. police, and that's not going to go over too good.
Well, it's not, and I think that, like I mentioned, he's been a staffer for her since 2004. That's 13 years. She knew what was going on. She was probably encouraging it. And I think that she has a little bit of accountability in this.
Okay, let's go to the other side of the aisle, back in the place called the D.C. sewer. The Republicans have got troubles with leaks in the Trump administration, and now with Scaramucci, the head of the communications department, there sounds like there's trouble in River City with Rance Priebus maybe being the leaker. My goodness, Rita.
Well, I've kind of wondered that about why Rance Priebus was actually put in there, because he was totally opposed to Trump anyway, and maybe that was Trump's way of saying, oh, okay, we'll reach across the aisle and have some of your Republicans come in here. Well, the big problem is I would like to see this Scaramucci, or whatever his name is, I probably said it wrong. Anyway, he is a big dam. He has been for a long time, and so my big question is, what side of the aisle is he really on, and what was the intention of putting him in there? Is it just because he's just such a good guard dog, you know, and that's what Trump needs, is a guard dog. Is he just such a good guard dog, or is there some other things that he's trying to, you know, finagle? Or is he put in there so that he can just start getting rid of people that Trump decided he doesn't want now? I just can't get a full picture of what Trump really is or trying to do. He's just off on these attacks everywhere, and I think that he's just maybe flailing, trying to see if he can get some of this stuff under control. So I'm interested to see what happens with this Scaramucci.
I am too.
Or whatever.
You know, Rita, you know, when you look at both sides of the aisle, the Democrats and the Republicans, don't you, like me and like my wife Deanne and others that I've talked to, I'm just at the tipping point right here. I'm at the point of saying, sit down, shut up, and let's just take a big broom and a dustpan, sweep them all out of Washington, D.C., and start over. I've had it with all these petty little conflicts.
Well, we should, and you know, that was the main reason that Trump got elected, was because he said, you know, his famous, we're going to drain the swamp. Hello? The thing of it is he didn't even start with the White House and the, you know, any of the appointments and stuff that were in there. He has a White House full of Obama people that are carried over. There's tons and tons of people that are advisors and stuff that are left there. They need to be replaced as well. And until that starts happening, nothing's going to work. And then he needs to start going through and getting rid of the Republicans. I don't know how we do it. I just don't. It's just so corrupted and so filthy that I don't know whether it can ever be cleaned up.
And then, in our continuing saga of trying to talk about the different items in the news, we find Fat Albert. Fat Albert, I'm referring to Al Gore, now with a new movie coming out, an inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power. And Al is going to tell us that we're all going to die because of climate change.
Well, his pocketbook must be getting a little thinner than it's been here recently. Or it could have something to do with Trump saying, you know what, we're not going to sign the Paris Accord thing up again. Al Gore's been riding the wave now for 16, 24 years, whatever. And it's all because he's been scaring people. He's got people all brainwashed thinking that, oh, my goodness, there's going to be, you know, all the glaciers are going to melt down and we're going to be sitting here and high and dry and this is going to be the way that it is. Well, that's all a big scam, and there's a lot of people that have got somewhat educated on it and are going, hey, wait a minute, this is crazy. So I don't think the money's rolling in like he wants it to. And he may just be trying to ramp up and get a new generation of kids to buy into it as well, because their professors will start really pushing it if there's new stuff coming out and about.
I agree. And here was something funny in the story. I read a couple of stories, Wall Street Journal and then also USA Today, about Al Gore. And he took a film crew, Rita, and they went all around the world twice filming. Now, if he is so concerned about all the global warming or climate change or whatever he wants to call it, it sure didn't stop him from getting in all those jets and the equipment, the film crews, etc., and going around the world twice.
Well, that's just it. As soon as he starts just living by candlelight and getting rid of some of his mansions that are just using up all kinds of electricity that you know, he's trying to get the rest of us shamed into using.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any credibility. He just doesn't. We all know what this is, and that is okay, if I want to use more electricity than the 15% below my average that you're allowing me to, I can just pay some money. In other words, the people who are rich are the ones who can buy trade-off credits
Yep.
And, Al Gore will plant trees down in the Amazon. That's a big bunch of baloney. We all know it, and people are doing it just to say, I'm doing my part to protect the world. But no, I can still travel around in a jet or have all kinds of stuff, and my footprint doesn't matter because I paid Al Gore to plant trees, and they just abdicate that responsibility over to somebody else, not really saying, you know what, I'm doing my part, I'm cutting back where I can, I'll recycle within reason and do some of the kind of stuff that the rest of us do because we're interested in taking care of the earth, but we're not interested in putting it ahead of living.
Absolutely. I'm going to do a weather forecast, and then, Rita, I'm going to get on the air with you again and talk about your favorite person, and that is Hillary Clinton, so stay tuned, please. Right now, the weather brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company CPAs. They've been providing the best of accounting services to the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. The best of tax return preparation, tax planning, business consulting, financial statement preparation, retirement planning, and so much more. Offices in Burley and Rupert serving you, and especially helping the agricultural, manufacturing, food production services of our area. They can and will help you. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Here's your weather as we saddle up and ride again on this Thursday. And today's going to be another nice day, but we do have a slight chance of some rain showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, again, like we did yesterday. Looking at a high of 84, tonight low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high of 90 with an overnight low of 58. For Saturday, sunny skies, high of 93. Partly cloudy, 91 for Sunday, and as we go back to work on Monday, looks like mostly sunny skies, high of 92. Sunset tonight going to be right around 9:02. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
And brought to you by Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company CPAs. They are the best, and they can and will help you. Like I said, they really can help people starting a business, a partnership, or businesses that want to hire more employees, or your family situation. So please give them a call and stop in and try to visit with them today. Phillips Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company in Burley and Rupert. We're on the air with Rita Ramsey every Thursday. And Rita, I'm sure that you're waiting in wild-eyed anticipation to go to the bookstore and buy the new book by Hillary Clinton called What Happened?
Well, it would be interesting to see what she really says, because I'm sure that if she does write that and tells what happened, she'll have to include the truth. And the truth is that people just did not want her for president. She needs to admit that and then go forward with her life.
I wish that this lady would just fade away and just stay at home and be a grandmother. The public does not want her. The public will not accept her. The public, I think, is sick and tired of the Clintons per se. And, okay, if you want to stick your nose out in the public again, answer this question. I want to know, during her term as Secretary of State, and I'm sure you'd be interested in this also, Rita, hey, what about the uranium deal from Oregon to the Russians? That's really collusion with Russia.
Well, it really is, and I think probably in the end, all this collusion we're going to find out, because we've seen other stuff surface. We know that this all was approved by the Obama administration, the Department of Justice, for these people to come in. I really think that they tried to set up the Trump people. I don't know that they set him up thinking, we know he's going to, Trump's going to be one, but I think that they just figured, well, we'll just set him up. But I think that the Russian people were in there to begin with because they wanted to see if they couldn't get more money out of him for one thing or the other. That's the Clintons' modus operandi, and they do it, and anywhere where they can gain money, they do. They don't care about who they sell it to or what, whether it's the Chinese, the Russians, or the Iranians. The Clintons are about one thing, and that's money, and they're extorting it from everybody that they can, and that's what they're going to do. And here's Hillary coming out with this or that or the other. She's just trying to get money too, because her pocketbook has probably slimmed down a little bit since they've had people starting to do a little digging into what's the real reason that their pocketbook's so fat.
Really, what is the matter with their advisors? I mean, I'm talking about Hillary's advisors, where she even is attempting or thinking about another revival of her career in 2020. And Bernie Sanders and even Joe Biden. I mean, they're going to be in nearly 80 if they're thinking about running in 20. This is insane. You would think the Democrats would want to develop somebody younger with more appeal than a bunch of has-beens.
Well, I think that they fear that if they really do anything or say anything or tell the Clintons, kind of step out of the spotlight and let somebody else in, that there may be some funerals happening. I don't know how else to say.
I think you and I both know what you're after there. I think I realize that. Caller, good morning. Quickly, we only have a couple of minutes left. Go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to know whatever happened with old brother Bill and his Loran system that he gave to China. That was the most accurate guidance system in the world. It was far more accurate than what our military had at the time and still has. And he gave it to the Chinese, no questions asked. How come nobody mentions that either?
All right, Jerry, thank you for your call. I'll have Rita respond. Go ahead, Rita, please.
Well, and he not only gave it, but he sold it. He sold secrets to the Chinese, all of that information. All it is dollar signs for those people. It has been forever. People look past it and say, well, I guess I won't judge, because if I judge, maybe they'd judge me. And it's really a sad deal when money is the main thing. And it's also sad when there won't be any investigations because they are, I'm guessing, blackmailing people and saying, you know what, we got stuff on you, you better just keep your mouth shut. And so people just keep their mouth shut, and these Clintons can just do whatever they want, and they run roughshod over everybody.
I want to wrap this up. I don't know if you're familiar with this story or not, but did you know that in the town of Gardner, Maine, that if you volunteer to go out and pick up trash and you go get a full bag of trash, you know what they're going to give you for your efforts? They're going to give you free marijuana.
Oh, good grief. I would gladly pick up garbage if I needed to, but I definitely don't want the marijuana. That just is so ridiculous. I don't know why they would need to tempt people with that, other than just to try and get them hooked so that they'll start buying more of it.
That's exactly right. And this is the idiocy of our society today. They're telling people in Gardner, Maine, at this one company that is legal, Summit Medical Marijuana, that if you grab a bag of trash, fill it with trash from around town, return it to the store, they'll give you a free bag of marijuana. Is this what America is about today, Rita?
Well, it is, and obviously they think that all they have to do is just offer something instead of saying, you know what, we would like groups to volunteer to do this kind of thing. This is what's called community service. We all need to be involved in it. Nope, we have to pay people to do stuff like that. Or what they really ought to do is access the jails and the detention centers and let those folks take care of it. They're getting room and board, and let them be in charge of that. And no marijuana.
I agree with you. God bless you, Rita. Excellent conversation this morning. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Rita Ramsey. I look forward to Thursdays to get her opinion on all those different topics. You imagine, pick up the trash, we'll give you some marijuana. Hey, about this time of the day, you know where I'm headed, I get really hungry. I had that bagel at 4 o'clock, and that was a long time ago. I know some great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death, like the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Orange and lemonade freezes on a hot day. Oh, is that good? And the famous Farmer Brown burgers and the fries with the special sauce. Or try a chicken fried steak sandwich. You're going to love it. Knock your boots off good at AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. How about Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley? Oh, my goodness, those brand spanking new pork burritos with beans, pork, rice, sour cream, and cheese. Oh, they're good. And Taco Bandito has bacon with jalapeno in it. Ooh, baby. Breakfast burritos that are fantastic. All of this at Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Well, Burgers Etc. has 2 locations to serve you. 124 South Oneida in Rupert, 700 Overland in Burley. And listen to this, on a hot summer day, root beer floats only 99 cents after 3 p.m. Nobody does that anymore. They do, along with fresh strawberry shakes and delicious burgers and all kinds of onion rings and tots and curls. Everything at Burgers Etc. Really nice people, too. Rupert and Burley, Burgers Etc. Move over to Steve-O's. Hello, Steve-O's. 290 South, 600 west of Heyburn. And the patio is open. You know that. Music every Friday and Saturday night. You can enjoy the dining and the music and the visit with your friends. Holy buckets. And they've got a brand new salad I've been talking about called the Chaos Salad. Woo! Chicken breast with bacon, pickles, and jalapeno peppers. That'll get your attention. And don't forget the buffalo burgers, and they've got really nice people working there. Open Monday to Saturday, 11 to 9, Steve-O's in Heyburn. And last but not least, Doc's Pizza, 514 6th Street in Rupert. Oh, my goodness, they've got all the different pizzas. They've got all the subs and the soups and the salads. They've got a great staff serving you, and they just say, come on in. 514 6th Street in Rupert, right on the square. You can't miss it. They've been voted the best pizza in Minicash area again for 2017, Doc's Pizza. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. And I am. Coming up next hour, Cassia County School Days, Business Salute, and then at 10:30, Rachel Alexander. Oh, we got a full plate left, and right now we've had some rain here this morning. I don't think it's anything too much, probably going to dry up in the next hour or so. But have a good day. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. Wheels, take it away. All righty. Good morning on a Thursday. Zeb at the Ranch, and of course, brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers, like Western Way Services, always at your disposal. Call, get on the route service today, 734-6969. Couple of things I want to address here quickly. Again, I mentioned that the Minidoka County Fair will be off and running full swing next week on the 31st, all the way through August 5th. And Minidoka County Fair, with their slogan this year, Country Pride Countywide. They are going to kick things off on Monday with the lawnmower races. I chuckle because this is going to get wild and woolly. And along with this, they're going to have gymkhanas and junior rodeos and Lions Barbecue and open rodeo. By the way, on the open rodeo, don't forget, today is the second and last day that Kathy Lom, the secretary, will be taking entries from 6 until 10 o'clock tonight. And the number to call, 654-2462. That number again, 654-2462. And they've got a lot of money up this year at the Minidoka Open Rodeo, and it will be a lot of fun. Don't miss all the fun and the activity at your Minidoka County Fair and Rodeo, and that's July 31st through August 5th. Everybody try to be there. And also coming up this weekend, I want to acknowledge the fact that on Friday and Saturday night, the Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame at the Canyon Crest Event Center. And on Friday night, we're going to have Tough Enough to Wear Pink, Give Cancer the Boot. A percentage of the proceeds goes to the Breast Cancer Awareness Program with St. Luke's Foundation. $10 entry fee, and thanks to Tech Distributors, our Coors dealer, 5 to 8 p.m. Going to be a lot of fun games, tons of door prizes, so be there on Friday night. And then on Saturday night at the Canyon Crest Convention Center, Hall of Fame induction, 5 p.m. social hour, dinner at 6, then the induction. Our thanks overall for the entirety of the Hall of Fame this year. D.L. Evans Bank, statewide. Thank you very much for all your involvement. For tickets, call the Canyon Crest Event Center, Katie, at 733-9392. It's time for Cassia County School Days, and that's brought to you, of course, by two great businesses that have been with us ever since the start of this segment. And they are, of course, A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. And they've got all the new, this is almost too early, isn't it? No, it's right around the corner. They got all the new fall clothes in there. And they've got all the toys, and they've got all the baby clothing and the baby furniture. It's all there at A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley. And along with the Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley, for your outpatient surgeries, they can save you money. Please get a hold of them today. Excuse me, get a hold of them today at 677-8888. That number again, 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center and A Child's World, bringing you right now School Days in Cassia County. And with us is the Cassia County District Financial Manager, Chris James. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Good morning. Excellent. How are you?
You know, when I think of a financial manager, I think of a guy that wears like Coke bottle, thick glasses, sitting in a dark, dingy room, crunching numbers from 6 in the morning until midnight, taking a couple hours off, and then going back by candlelight and doing it again. How close am I?
Well, you're not completely wrong. I heard someone say the other day, it said school finance is not rocket science. It's harder and more expensive.
So really, when it comes down to brass tacks, what is your job? Tell us what it entails.
I prepare the budgets based on information that I gather from administrators and school personnel and the school board, and then throughout the year we administer those budgets. There's like 2,500 ledger accounts that we keep track of, different grants, specific line item funding that we have to keep track of and report on at the end of the year. Each of the schools has a checking account, so we do audits on those, and then I also work with the third-party auditor who does audits of the entire school district annually. So it's mainly that stuff, overseeing the accounts payable and payroll and human resource functions. So.
Chris, when you come up with the finalization on a budget, and I want you to explain how you go through that process, do you go from school to school with a great big yardstick and hold over their head and say you will not exceed these figures, or what do you do?
Yes. Well, not a yardstick, but we just try to get input from them, and then we get a portion of money from the state. So a lot of preparing a budget is looking at historical numbers. Okay, what did we get the last 3 years, the last 5 years? What new legislation or budget allocations are coming this year? What's our projected enrollment? And then we divvy that out to the different programs and schools. And so the funding, the allocation the schools get from the district is based on their enrollment, what their projected enrollment will be for next year.
Okay.
How many students they'll have, and then that determines how much they get for supplies and consumables and that kind of thing. And for the most part, they always stick to those budgets and follow them, and they do have some flexibility within that budget to move it around if they needed to spend it on services instead of supplies or travel or training or curriculum. They can kind of work within those budgets. If they need a little bit more for supplies, they can move it from travel or vice versa.
Chris, is it and I'm not trying to pry into this and make anything out of nothing, but is it a fair budget? I mean, is it all based on students at the various numbers of various schools? How do you establish this?
Yeah, it's that's basically the way it has to be, because that's how we get the money from the state is based on student attendance. So the money that we're allocated is based on student attendance, so in turn we allocate that out for the most part based on student attendance. So X amount of student attendance generates X amount of dollars, basically.
Okay. And how do you sit down with you and other members that help you on this and figure out, well, gas might be projected at this, so this is what we need for the school buses, or if they need new football uniforms or band uniforms or something else? How in the world do you figure all this out, and what do you have, like a 10% slippage or what?
Well, yes. So you do, like I said, it's a lot of looking at historical expenses. So this is how much you spent on bus fuel for last year. And then, this is the curriculum adoption we're going to do next year. For example, if we were buying math books or something, we'd have a quote so we knew how much to allocate for that. So you look at the historical, and then we say, well, maybe fuel costs are holding pretty steady. Maybe they're going to increase by 3 to 5%, and then we plug some extra money in there. Try to plug, a little bit extra in for contingencies and things like that, and utilities and fuel and those kind of things are always changing. You have staff turnover. You hire teachers with various levels of experience that fit differently on the career ladder. So things change throughout the year. A budget is kind of like a guideline, and you try to stick to that, but there are going to be things that come up during the year that you'll have to plan for and adjust.
Let me ask you this, and really, in every job this happens, but in your career of doing this, have you ever sat back in your desk and said, oops, we forgot this?
Well, fortunately, no big mistakes. There's a lot of moving parts. So it is easy for something small to get overlooked, but typically, nothing big that can't be worked around. Sometimes it's usually more of an issue with the surprises, a maintenance issue that comes up, a piece of equipment that fails, or those kind of things that cause you to look at the budget and figure out how to deal with those expenses.
Is what you do as a district financial manager any different in a smaller region, smaller area, than what they would do in a larger area, be it Boise, Salt Lake City, etc.?
Yes and no. As you know, Idaho has some very tiny school districts. They might be a single school building is the entire district, and in those instances, they wear many hats. They're often not just the business manager, but they're over the federal programs and the payroll and the accounts payable and the HR, and they do all of that. In a larger district like Boise with 40,000 students, they're going to have 2 or 3 times the staff that we would have to deal with those kind of things. But the roles are the same. You have the same amount of programs for the most part, as far as your federal grants, your special ed, your Title I, your migrant, and all those kind of special funds that you have to administer. You're maybe not handling a payroll for, our payroll consists of 750 employees, whereas a smaller district might have a payroll of, 30 employees.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's a day in the life of you, Chris James? Once you've got the budget sets, can you sit back in your big desk and say, adios, amigo, I'm headed for the golf course, or what do you do?
So we had our budget hearing last month where we reviewed the prior year's budget and adopted the New Year's budget, and that's posted on our website as well as sent to the State Department of Education. So we kind of cleared that hurdle. We have to publish that in the paper and then have a hearing before adopting it. And then after that's completed, then right now we're working with the auditor to review last year's financials and to prepare the audited financial statement. And then as we go throughout the school year, it's just the monthly maintaining of the budgets. We pay bills twice a month. We do payroll once a month. And just kind of dealing with those kind of things. So the summer's actually my busiest time. In the winter, once you're in the middle of the budget and things are kind of set, then it's maybe a little bit slower.
Well, I want to wish you to get out and enjoy some of our great Idaho weather. Get out of that dingy office, blow out that candle, and have yourself a little fun. Chris James, District Financial Manager, thanks for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Interesting about setting the budgets and all the different things and intricacies that have to be addressed. Appreciate him being on the program. And that's, of course, Cassia County School Days, brought to you by two of our great sponsors. And they are A Child's World at 1308 Overland and Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland in Burley. There you go. And we sincerely appreciate our sponsors. Got a couple of things. Oh, my goodness, did I just make a mess? I knocked all that over, and the papers hit the floor. And I wanted to remind you about the Ice Cream Social. Deanne, I need your help. I lost my... Oh, here it is right here. There's going to be a great big annual Community Ice Cream Social on Sunday, August 13th at 6 p.m. at the Rupert United Methodist Church. Now, this is really going to be good. They're going to have homemade ice cream. There is nothing better than homemade ice cream. Man, I can remember my Aunt Florence and Uncle Harmon. They used to make the best doggone homemade ice cream. And they're going to have all kinds of cakes. It's going to be a lot of fun entertainment with David and Melissa Bowman. This, again, going to be on Sunday, August 13th at 6 p.m. right on the front lawn of the Rupert United Methodist Church, 605 8th Street in Rupert. Whew, Ice Cream Social. That is going to be tasty and really, really good. What else have we got? Oh, and then we had one other notice that evidently did hit the floor on all the pile of my papers. I'll try to get that picked up here in a couple of minutes. Let's see what else on my sponsorships and everything. Don't go in the water in California. Holy cow, have you heard that the shark problem along the coast of California has increased, and they've got danger and warning signs all up and down the coasts and the beaches of California, down by Santa Barbara and everywhere else, Long Beach, and they've had numerous great white shark sightings. One guy, and believe me, I don't credit him with being real smart. One guy is way out in the ocean off the shore, and all of a sudden, crunch. Yeah, crunch. A great white shark bit off the front end of his kayak and then swam away. Well, I think this old dude was about ready to walk on water getting back to shore. And like I said, there's numerous shark sightings, but the scientists are saying this is great. It points to a healthy marine life. Doesn't say much for all the people the sharks ate, but anyway, they're saying it's a healthy marine life on the coast of California with a whole bunch of white sharks. So if you're down there and you want to get in the water, the signs say, swim at your own risk. Dum 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 dum. There you go. Right now, we're going to take a little visit with one of our great businesses that are on our program, and we have our business salute. Let's ask Wheels if we have that lovely lady ready to go. Wheels, is she ready?
Yes, sir, she is.
What are you doing over there, by the way? Just kind of twiddling your thumbs, watching it cloud up and rain occasionally?
Yeah, and you had gotten done with your guest early, so I wasn't sure if maybe I should call her a few minutes early or if I should wait until a couple minutes early, but I got her on just in case.
You did well, young man. You did well. Thank you very much. Hey, by the way, let's go over to Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center right now at 924 Christian Way in Rupert. And hello, Amy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you this morning, Zeb?
What are you doing over there?
You know, we are enjoying the rain.
Is it raining now?
It's been hot.
Oh, my goodness. Well, all kinds of moisture coming down, and it wasn't predicted. But what about Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center? Let's talk a little bit about the friendliness and about the personal touch. Go ahead. Give us kind of a commercial from Amy.
Well, we are a small, locally owned assisted living facility, and we're located in Rupert behind the Minidoka Memorial Hospital. We have great staff. We have access to the physicians that are so close to us. We have a beautiful facility, and right now our flowers, and we have a little garden in the backyard. It's just blooming. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Well, now, let's talk a little bit about staff. I've never mentioned this to you because I forgot, if you want to know the truth. What kind of people does it take to work in an assisted living center?
You have to have a passion as a caregiver. You have to love taking care of people, being around the folks that are elderly. You have to have just great customer service. We have fantastic staff, though, that give just an extra personal touch. I think I have some of the greatest staff members. They're so kind. They're so friendly. They're willing to help. They are such a team, and I really appreciate them.
You know, when you look for people like that, Amy, seriously, today, it's hard to find people with a good work ethic. It's hard to find people with good people skills. Boy, you're pretty lucky if you can fill your staff.
I am, and I feel very blessed to have the staff that I do.
Well, now, what about the patients? I hate to use that word patients. What do you call you call the folks that live there just basically what?
They're clients.
Ah, I like that. I like that.
Yes. Oh, I love our clients. They are great people with great stories who have lived wonderful lives, who have given back to the community, and coming to Autumn Haven, they give us a chance to serve them and to give them the best care that they deserve.
You know, when you talk about your clients, I mean, what kind of frailties do perhaps they have where they would require assisted living? I mean, what are some of the circumstances?
So most of them have problems with cooking, and laundry services are needed to be provided. They don't want to do housekeeping or unable to, keep up a home anymore. Cooking has become a struggle for them. Dressing, especially the lower body, can be difficult for a lot of our clients, and showering can become difficult. A lot of fear with falling, slippery places.
Yeah.
And so most of our clients need a little bit of assistance in the shower. Most of it's, standby assistance there if somebody needs them, or maybe a one-person assist, meaning they need mostly help washing the lower body.
Okay. Now, you're very forthright and open and say, come on by and visit us anytime and check us out.
Absolutely. I welcome the public to come into Autumn Haven anytime. Even if our facility may not be the right fit for your loved one, I am happy to give information and to guide people where they need to be. My goal is not everybody might be appropriate for my facility, but I am willing to sit down and talk with any family members about what resources there are, because sometimes caregivers, people who take care of their loved ones in their home, just need some extra help, or they need guidance. For example, a lot of people do not realize that people who are veterans, there is a VA pension program that is offered through the government that allows people to take advantage of money that is set aside by the government to help cover the cost of assisted living. That is a service that a lot of people don't know about, and I help facilitate some of that for them.
Absolutely. Now, I've always said on the tagline for Autumn Haven that you're small compared to some, but with a bigger heart than most. Tell us about the facility itself.
The facility itself is, like I said, it's a 16-bed facility, so we are small. We are the only locally owned and operated assisted living in the Mini-Cassia area. All of our rooms are private rooms with private bathrooms and private showers. It's all one level. There are no stairs or elevators in our facility. We have a beautiful backyard we have so many beautiful flowers and pots, and we have a covered patio in the front where our residents love to sit out in the front and enjoy some lemon ice water and to visit. And we're very quiet. In our location, there's not a lot of traffic, and so we take a lot of walks around the facility, and it's just beautiful.
Absolutely. Now, please tell us, what are the hours that they can reach someone over there to find out more information, and who do they call?
So you can call 436-3200. You can ask for Amy, or you can ask for Angie Darrington. She's our administrator, and we are happy to help you. We are open, 24/7. Call anytime, and I can always get a message gets to me.
Amy, you're a real treat to talk to, and I really appreciate it. On behalf of Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center, 924 Christian Way in Rupert, 436-3200. You have a great day, and thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me, Zeb. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you much. What a nice lady, and so pleasant. You can just feel the enthusiasm in her voice, and I appreciate that. Autumn Haven Assisted Living Center. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do, boys and girls. We're going to take a little break, send it back over to Wheels at our main studio, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Rachel Alexander. And you know what I did? I lost the story that we were going to talk about this morning. I think it's about Donald Trump Jr. and others, and we'll have that for you in just a few minutes. But right now, Wheels, take it away.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
There is a never-ending list of stupidity going on in Washington, D.C. and across our United States. And I really appreciate somebody like this next lady because she writes about it, comments about it, and does a very good job. And I say good morning to Rachel Alexander. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Zeb.
Rachel, how do you pick and choose? You must sit down at your desk and go, well, I'm going to talk about this group of idiots today, or I'm going to write about this group. I mean, holy smokes, you've got an unending supply to write about.
It's awesome. I have a really blessed career, and the way we do it at the Stream is I pitch a few ideas at my bosses, and they come back and either like one of them or they pitch something else back at me.
I want to talk to you a little bit about your latest piece called Don Jr. and Jared Kushner Couldn't Have Colluded with the Russians, Legal Experts Say. This is so insane that there's no proof of any wrongdoing after going on now almost 7.5 to 8 months. Whew, what's going on here?
Well, what they're trying to do is pretend that collusion is a crime, and it's not. And there was this excellent article I found in Politico, of all places, which combined the opinions of about 15 legal experts, and almost all of them said collusion is not a crime. It's not in the federal statutes. The statutes are very specific on purpose so they don't become too broad. And there basically has to be an action where they were conspiring to commit a specific crime, such as hacking into emails with the Russians or bribing an election official or something. And so they've never been able to find any of this. All it was a casual meeting, this latest one, a casual meeting that Kushner and Donald Trump Jr. had with a Russian attorney where it sounds like not only was she not from the Russian government, but she didn't even have any information on Hillary Clinton anyway.
What about the opposite side of the fence, the other side of the aisle? Couldn't it also be deemed collusion to have Hillary sitting down as Secretary of State and colluding with the Russians over a uranium deal in Oregon?
Well, there's so much more evidence that was a real crime, but no one's touching it, no one's looking at it. You won't get the mainstream media to cover it. Just a few of us conservatives are pointing out the hypocrisy.
What about that, though? I mean, you mentioned it on my program, about 2-3 months ago. But I think that with everything that was connected to that property and the shooting death of Lavoy Finicum, one of the ranchers that had taken refuge there, there's just too much dirt up there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's just some funny monkey business going on, and, we haven't heard the end of the rancher's story, now that FBI agent has been indicted and is being prosecuted for lying about shooting Finicum. I think that one's just going to explode and get even bigger.
Okay, let's continue on with the vein of the collusion. This word collusion, and the media and the Democrats and the liberals, boy, they can really emphasize collusion and make it sound like the filthiest, most pornographic word ever. What did the Trump administration do that even signifies collusion?
Well, and even if it was collusion, it's not a crime. You know, just talking to Russian officials, even if it is collusion, it's not a crime. And they've never been able to point out one thing that the Trump campaign folks or Trump people now have done meeting with any of these Russians, the Russian ambassador, whoever. And that's what they're supposed to do. You know, when Obama had his transition team, when he was first becoming president, his transition team talked all the time with Russians. It was normal and nobody thought anything about it.
Is it because, Rachel, honestly, and I'm going to be blunt about this, that the American public is so naive and in many terms dumbed down to what's really going on that they're like sponges and they'll accept anything the liberal media tells them? Are you there?
Oh, I thought you cut out, but it sounded like you just stopped. Right, and if you watch these CNN, and, you know, I have this boyfriend who really seems to like to watch CNN, so I've been forced to watch a lot of it lately. It's just the same old thing all day long, over and over again, and they just sit there pounding and attacking on Trump. And if you listen to this, I can see how you could become brainwashed by it, because you never hear any of the other, you know, Hillary's ties to Ukraine. You don't hear any of that. All you hear is negative stuff about Trump 24/7.
Tell us a little bit. In your piece, you gave a direct quote to George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley, and I've seen him many, many times on television. Tell us what he said about this mess.
He said the meeting between Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and this Russian attorney is certainly not evidence of a crime. And he said even if there is a crime of conspiracy, it's conspiracy to do what? He says that Trump's critics are so eager to take him down that they grotesquely extend the U.S. criminal code. People are so eager to bag a Trump that they're willing to take these crimes and take them well beyond their legal moorings.
You know, and I got to ask you this, Rachel, because you're on top of this stuff and you're really aware as to what's going on with the rest of the media. And one of the papers nationwide that I would say is absolutely on a headhunt or a witch hunt against Donald Trump is the USA Today. And the headline they had the other day more or less intimated, oh my goodness, yep, it's right around the corner. Trump's going to be impeached. I mean, this is idiocy.
It's almost hilarious if it wasn't so serious. There's no chance he's going to be impeached. You know, for one, Republicans control the House, and there's no evidence yet that the Democrats are going to take it back. And secondly, you have to have a serious crime. You know, they call it high crimes and misdemeanors, but that means a serious crime to be impeached. Trump hasn't done anything. All they can do is use words, like you said, that sound scary. Let's use words like collusion, and let's just hint and imply that lots of unethical behavior is going on. I mean, if you think about it, it's frankly terrifying that they can just hint that you're doing something wrong and possibly take you down that way. I mean, we're a free society. This is America. You're not supposed to be sentenced for a crime or whatever, and unless you've been, you know, tried in a court of law.
You know, there seems to be, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, there seems to be somewhat of a split now in the Democratic Party when Chuck Schumer stands up and says, well, the reason she lost is because of her, not anything with Russian collusion. But at the same time, in a different press conference the same day, California Democrat Adam Schiff said, oh, no, we're going to pursue this as much as possible because there was Russian collusion and we want to get to the bottom of it. What's going on here?
I think we're seeing some Russian fatigue with parts of the Democrat Party. They're finally realizing they're not getting anywhere They've spent so many hours and government dollars trying to find some evidence of collusion, and they're realizing at some point they're going to look silly with egg on their face. So I think the wiser minds in the party are, starting to withdraw from that. And, they're just going to find something else to, attack Trump for, but, at least it won't be Russia anymore.
I got to ask you, and this isn't on the schedule of certain things that I was going to mention this morning, but I got to ask you about Hillary's new book. I just heard about it a little bit this morning, a book called, with the title, What Happened? I mean, do you mean to tell me that she doesn't realize, even after writing a book, that she lost because nobody likes her?
Yeah, I think it's just a whole effort on her part to change the spin and try to convince people otherwise, get her version of why she thinks she lost out there, which is right. It's stupid. I mean, we all know she's just making things up.
And one other thing that I want to ask you about before I let you go this morning is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I have never liked this lady. I have never trusted her, and now it seems like she's in trouble again with an IT staffer that may have been connected to some big money and bank fraud. What are your comments about Debbie Darlin?
Well, do you remember who these two brothers are? They were both IT staffers for her. These are the ones that are rumored to have connections to the Seth Rich murder.
Oh.
So I think she's in bigger trouble than we know. And I'm also hearing that Trump, who tweeted about this, Trump might be behind some of this. He knows what's going on, and if this is the way to take Debbie Wasserman Schultz down, I think she's just as slimy as you do.
When you talk about her and this situation and the connection that might be involved with her computer and her server and everything and other major Democrats, and then at a meeting she turns around and tells a member of the Washington, D.C. police, basically threatens him, Debbie's not real bright.
Yeah, I think the reason she was threatening him is because it's the gravity of the situation. I think it's so serious what it was on those computers. They've been doing, I believe they've been committing crimes, and she knew it. And so that's why she overreacted.
What are some of the stories that you're studying to write about over the next couple of days? I mean, man, you must just be sitting there at that typewriter all day long.
I really do have pretty close to a 40-hour-a-week job, though. I mean, God has really blessed me with this job at the Stream. Right now, I just had an article that came out in the middle of the night about parental rights in light of the Charlie Gard case in regards to could a case like that happen here in the U.S. with our laws.
I got to ask you about that. I know the article probably hasn't come out yet, but oh my goodness, the ominous approach to this story with the courts and government involved in everything over parental rights. Whoa, how concerned are you that it could maybe happen here in this country?
At this point, it is not going to happen here because our law is kind of the opposite of British law. We say that parents actually have rights. British law does not really recognize parental rights. It says that a judge gets to step in and decide what's the best interest of the child.
Whoa.
Whereas here, we have almost the opposite because if you're a parent and you withhold medical treatment from your child, say you're a Jehovah's Witness and you don't want to give him some life-saving medical treatment, you're actually going to get prosecuted. So we kind of go the opposite, and the only thing that worries me is we do have somewhat similar situations here in the U.S., like the Carrie Schiavo case. Now, she wasn't a child, but that's still a problem where you've got her family saying, we don't want her feeding tube pulled, but you've got this renegade, separated husband who gets to say.
Right. You are excellent. Rachel Alexander with The Stream. Always a great article. Always great questions and answers. Thank you so much, Rachel, for being on the program. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you. I enjoy having her on the air, and she really writes a good article for The Stream. Rachel Alexander. We better get some weather forecast on here. I would really appreciate wrapping up the program this morning with some more phone calls. I'll talk about anything you want to talk about. So give me a jingle at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Come on, give me a call. Let's do the weather quick while I'm waiting for your call, and the weather's brought to you this hour by Scarro's Meats. Yes, sir, Don Scarrow and the rest of the crew. Ooh, good people. 331 North Road, Jerome, and the number to call, 324-7657. You talk about a retail meat department, you're going to love it, whether it's tri-tip, prime rib, whether it's the buckboard bacon, whether it's bratwurst. Oh, I love bratwurst. Oh, it's delicious. Scarro's Meats in Jerome. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Here's your weather as we saddle up and ride again on this Thursday, and today's going to be another nice day, but we do have a slight chance of some rain showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, again, like we did yesterday. Looking at a high of 84, tonight low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, high of 90 with an overnight low of 58. For Saturday, sunny skies, high of 93. Partly cloudy, 91 for Sunday, and as we go back to work on Monday, looks like mostly sunny skies, high of 92. Sunset tonight going to be right around 9:02. That's your weather for 7th Rain.
And she does a great job. Gina, thank you so much. On a Thursday, and the weather brought to you by Scarro's Meats, 331 North Road, Jerome. I got to tell you, that buckboard bacon they've got, it's leaner and more economical than traditional bacon, with a whole bunch of different flavors like lemon, pepper, and smokehouse barbecue and ranch, etc. Ooh, it is good. Check out all the meats at their retail meat department over there at 331 North Road, Jerome. Number to call, 324-7657. And they are at Scarro's Meats, changing the way we eat, one delicious bite at a time. It's good. All right, come on, help me out. Give me a little call, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about for the remainder of the hour. Give me a jingle quickly at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I want to remind you, too, that Kathy Lom, the secretary for the Minidoka County Rodeo on August 4th and 5th. Tonight is the last night that she's going to be taking entries for that. And the number to call, 654-2462. I'll repeat that number, 654-2462. They've added quite a bit of money per event over there. And don't forget to get entered. Minidoka County Open Rodeo, August 4th and 5th. And Kathy Lom, the secretary, tonight is the last night to take entries from 6 to 10 p.m. at 654-2462. There, I told you one more time. Let's see, what else have we got cooking? Oh, in the Hall of Fame, I want to hit that one more time while I'm waiting for your call. Idaho Rodeo Hall of Fame at the Canyon Crest Events Center. 2 big nights, and that's Friday and Saturday night. Friday night, the Tough Enough to Wear Pink Give Cancer the Boot night. Percentage of the proceeds goes to breast cancer awareness with St. Luke's Foundation, and it's a $10 entry fee. Thank you to Tech Distributing, your Coors dealers. They are fun people to work with. And then on Saturday night, the 29th Hall of Fame induction starting at 5 p.m., dinner at 6, induction following, and again, our thanks for the overall weekend, D.L. Evans Banks. They are our major sponsor. Thank you so much, along with Katie and the crew at Canyon Crest Event Center. For tickets, contact Katie at 733-9392. All right, give me a call. Don't leave me lonesome. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. And we'll get into any subject you want to. I see right after they talked about health care the other day and the Senate Republicans voting to repeal health care, Tom Perez of the Democratic Party, oh my goodness, every email got a copy of this. Quick, donate. Fight the Republicans. Throw them out of office. Tom Perez's office. And he said, the nightmare just became real. Senate Republicans voted to move forward with health care repeal. It's only a matter of time before a repeal bill lands on Donald Trump's desk and he eagerly signs it into law. And he says, I'm devastated. Millions of Americans will lose their coverage. We're all going to die. Oh, brother. The Democrats, now being led by really kind of a foul-mouthed person, Tom Perez. All right, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Our major sponsor on this program, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. I never get a chance really to say how much I appreciate them and how much I really value all the many, many years that they've been our major sponsor. I enjoy working with each and every one of these people at all 7 locations, and I thank them for all their help and involvement. And they want you to get where you're going this summer safely with the best of tires on your pickups, your SUVs, cars, boat trailers, horse trailers, whatever. Make sure that your tires are ready for a travel. And if not, they've got all the tires, all the sizes, all the different treads. And I urge you also to ask about a free pre-trip safety check, which they will inspect visually the tires, including the air pressure, wheel alignment, tire wear, front-end component. Let me try that one again. Front-end components, brake components, and they'll take a good look at your shocks and struts and check the battery, including a load test. All of this for a safe pre-trip safety check. Stop in and see Lane in Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike in Buell, Mike in Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and my buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. The best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Wheels, what are you going to do this weekend? What do you got planned? Don't do that. That's 75 cents on top of $8,330.
Oh, good grief! I'm really in for it. Well, you kind of caught me because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm hoping that this weekend will treat us fairly, and maybe I can go pick up my fishing license and everything. So
you had better get your fishing license, because I told you on the air a week ago that you are going to be my guest at my secret fishing spot. And we're going to go and we're going to get you some big lunkers. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Man, don't you really know how to make a young man feel special? Well, I will definitely do that.
What's your favorite kind of fishing, by the way?
Fly fishing?
You like to fly fish?
Yeah, I don't mind fly fishing. I don't quote me on this or anything. I don't like having to go out like during winter time and try to fly fish. But if I can get myself down into the water with no problems, man, I enjoy just being able to fly fish.
Oh, my goodness, that's a lot of work. I have never tried fly fishing because I've never been able to coordinate all that. How did you learn how to fly fish? Who taught you?
I just kind of taught myself. I mean, I think I kind of look at it like you're just sitting on a boat dock.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody that's sitting or anything like that, it's probably not really difficult, but I don't know. I try to learn everything myself, I guess.
What's the biggest fish you have ever caught? Be honest now. Don't be a fisherman and give me a tale here.
I would say maybe close to 3 or 4 pounds. I really haven't caught anything bigger than that, but I'd love to. I'd love to catch me a big bass or a salmon.
All right. Well, listen, man, we're going to go fishing, but the deal is, if I don't catch anything and you do, you keep your mouth shut, okay?
We can keep that between you and I.
Okay. Hey, we're going to wrap things up for this week, and I wish everybody God's blessings, and be safe and sane out there. And remind everybody that we're going to be back here again on Monday and ride the horse for 3 hours from 8 until 11 on Zeb at the Ranch, right here on KBAR 1230 AM. And then also streaming live on the internet all over the world. We got a great worldwide audience. Thank you so much for all your emails and your kind thoughts. And that's on ZebBell.com. And then don't forget, every week I publish my blog, Cow Pies and Coffee Cups. Get signed up for that. We got literally thousands and thousands of people all across the globe. Until next Monday, we'll leave you with this. The way things were are the way things ought to be. Be careful out there. Zeb at the Ranch. See you then.